Hello everyone. Today on Perspectives, restoring the spotlight onto Mobile's Grand Ole Stadium. It has been a fixture on the Mobile sports scene since the late 1940s, Ladd-Peebles Stadium. Now, over the years, it's hosted annually the Senior Bowl, the All-Star Game featuring America's top senior college football players. Fans have also enjoyed watching some of the South's best Division I teams like Alabama and Auburn, LSU. Some incredible high-scoring bowl games as well on ESPN. HBCU football teams have squared off for more than 35 years there, and the beginning seasons of the South Alabama Jaguars all at Ladd-Peebles. And we can't leave out all the high school football games, of course, featuring some great young players, some who were future professionals. Two, in fact, who played at Ladd-Peebles are in the NFL Hall of Fame. Major changes, though, in the last couple of years have seen teams and games move on to newer venues. But Ladd-Peebles is still standing and now revamping its offerings to Mobile and the Gulf Coast. Professional minor league football, developmental football, concerts, and thrilling amusements are all on the Ladd-Peebles new event schedule. Ladd-Peebles is now being reintroduced as a sports and entertainment complex, the largest outdoor venue on the Gulf Coast. Officials say with a capacity of 40,000, the stadium will now host everything from football games, concerts, revivals, family fun fairs, mega pop-up shops, and more. Their new brand, excitement where a new adventure awaits you throughout the year. Our guest today on Perspectives, here to tell us more about the Ladd-Peebles Sports and Entertainment Complex, is their new manager, C.J. Drinkard. Our guest this morning, C.J. Drinkard. He is the general manager of the Ladd-Peebles Stadium, and glad to have you here on board. In fact, it's a welcome back home for you because you know this area very well.
Very well.
And both from the personal and the athletic aspect as well.
Yes, sir.
Your name well known among the football circles. And
yes,
so
sir.
You're back and you're bringing football and fun and excitement to Ladd-Peebles Stadium. So we welcome you. And let's talk this morning about the new direction for Ladd-Peebles. A lot of things have happened in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Tons.
Where things that you were planning on having, some change there, and some things that you weren't sure were going to happen have happened.
Yes, sir.
And so let's talk about some of those things first, and then we'll get into more of the exciting slate of events you have planned for Ladd-Peebles. I guess first, CJ, tell folks why you wanted to take this responsibility on hand, because it's a challenge.
Yes, sir. So coming from Faith Academy, we had tons of games at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. And when I first heard about, the possibility of coming home, I jumped on it. And it's just for sentimental reasons. I mean, it's a great stadium, a lot of history there, a lot of firsts happened there. You got people who learn to drive, you got people who learn to walk, they take their first pet out there to the dog park. There's just a lot of firsts. So that's kind of, why I kind of jumped into that, and we have a lot of things that we're going to move forward with, and I'm excited about it.
And of course, you were running your own operation in the Phoenix City area, and you decided to, when the changes happened here, to bring that back. So I guess that was one of the invitations. Tell us about the Buccaneer Academy.
So the Buccaneer Sports Academy is a football team that allows those guys right out of high school, 1 or 2 years out, to get extra film or get extra academics to where they need to be to enter a 4-year institution. So we've been instrumental in that too.
I remember when South Alabama first started playing, they played against a couple of those types of schools where I guess a lot of us are familiar with the basketball schools that are doing that, but now it's helping the football players. And really, you think about that, that's a great deal, because a lot of times it's just some little things academically that they need to, I guess, sharpen and then be prepared for that opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And a lot of the times it's nothing big. Like you said, it's small things like getting that 1 point on that ACT, or getting the SAT boosted, or simply replacing a math class that they didn't do quite so well in high school. So a lot of the times it is something small, but that small thing, is a big impact in the long run. So
what exactly does the Buccaneer Academy do for them when they come and sign up for your program?
So what we do, let's from the football standpoint, we take them, we evaluate them, we look at their high school film, and then we say, okay, this guy just needs an extra, this or an extra that, and we'll fix it during game time. Now, as far as the academics, they do attend Bishop. So they go to Bishop. If they need those ACTs boosted, they go through Bishop for that. If they need GPAs boosted or they need to just go ahead and enroll full term, they do that as well. So Bishop has been instrumental in helping us with that as well.
That's a good program. And the new president there, he is very student-minded and progressive-minded.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, CJ, that was sort of the drawing card to get you looking in this direction, and you brought the academy here. I guess before we move on, tell us about the games coming up this season for them and what should we be expecting in this. Now we're in September, and of course the latter part of the month and October.
So the first game was against IMG Postgrad, which is a great showing. We came up short at one point, which is pretty good for us, having just this group for like a couple weeks. And then aside from that, we have the Georgia Knights coming in October. We have a lot of big teams coming later in the year. We're looking at trying to convince the division to host the playoffs, the championship at Ladd. So we're working on that, as well as just getting those guys the exposure they need on a bigger level. Because if anybody knows Mobile, we are a football town.
That's right, that's right. And so these games are on what day and what time normally?
Saturdays and Sundays. Primarily, the home games will be on Saturdays here at Ladd at 5 p.m.
Okay, we can go to where to find out the information?
Ladd-Peebles.com. You can find the schedule.
All right, awesome. So let's move on to what else is on your plate, because you're also, a couple of things have happened. You had the high school football come back because some problems they were having with building the stadiums, but it seemed like you may have had an influence on helping them fill, but this was a good decision at this time.
Yeah, because my main thing is making sure that everybody feels at home. So it's all about relationships. So I talked to Threat Gill, I talked to his security team and everybody involved, and I just told him, I said, hey, look, I'm focused on making sure the kids feel safe. I'm focused on making sure the community feels welcome. Right. We're going to make this happen. I said, I don't know what we're going to do today, but we're going to do it. So that's how the meeting started, and we're here now. So we got the full schedule.
That's excellent. So how many teams do you have back?
So I have 5 teams back, and we have a total of 14 games.
All right, that's awesome. And of course, you can go to the website
for
that as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good to hear. Now talk about what happened with the football league, because a lot of people were excited. In fact, we had talked, and you had me all excited as well. So is there a chance of that coming back next spring?
So as of right now, what they're doing is looking at projecting a new start in the spring. Now, I don't think Mobile is a location that they're going to utilize. I think it will kind of stay around the Virginia area. But I was hopeful. I think everything will pan out for them in the future, though.
Okay, that's good. Is there a possibility of us having a team again?
So what I'm going to do is make some calls to some friends that I know, and I got some stuff planned. So.
Okay, so some things are in the works.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Well, please keep us posted on that. I remember there was a stadium there in the Virginia Beach area that I used to go and watch the Norfolk Neptunes play in the old Continental League. So hopefully things happen good for that league. We're all excited about the possibilities.
For sure, for sure.
Now, Ladd-Peebles Stadium, though, as you shared with me once before, they are known for concerts and other things happening there. And just recently we were thinking football, but there are a lot of things that have happened there over the year, and you have plans to bring some of those types of entertainment venues back again.
Correct. So October 1, we have Oktoberfest. So there's a lot of good artists that are coming. And then from there, that same promoter is going to do a Mother's Day concert. So I'm going to make sure everybody who's doing stuff is doing stuff more than one time a year. So we got some good country artists lined up for the spring. I'll kind of release those updates in October. And we're going to make sure that everybody has something to do other than just sports.
Well, give us an idea of, if you can, some of the artists who will be coming.
So I know for sure there's one that Reva, we're working on trying to get her. So if we can get her and lock her in before January 1, I think that's going to be the biggest concert of 23.
Now, when you have the concerts there, give us an idea of what the arrangement will be seating-wise.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So what we're going to do is have them inside of the stadium, because people that big, I mean, they're going to draw, more than 40,000, and we hold 40,000. So what we'll do is have the center stage at the 50-yard line. We'll have VIP seating around the 50. Around the stage, and then from there we'll just fill up the stands.
Wow. So will it be the stage facing one side of the full stadium or
Oh, it'll be a 360 stage, so they'll be able to work the entire crowd.
Okay.
So I'm all about doing stuff that's kind of different and innovative. So having that 360 style setup is going to be perfect for what we have. So.
And you would think that this would be a good location, because I think for years people have talked about being at the intersection of I-10 and I-65 to where you have access to half the nation, so to speak.
Yes, we do. And definitely doing stuff like that too draws from Pensacola, Biloxi, Atmore area, Montgomery. I mean, we're gonna pull it in. I promise you that. We're gonna pull it in.
Yeah, when you look at the cities that are in a radius of an hour, 2 hours away, New Orleans is 2 hours, and Jackson, Mississippi, and yeah, that's exciting to hear. And of course, bringing folks like Reba in definitely is going to be a drawing card.
Right.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about some of the other activities that you've got planned for family fun, as well as looking at some of the other bowl games that have taken place in the past here, and whether or not they're a part of the Ladd future as well. So,
yes, sir.
Our conversation this morning with C.J. Drinker, the general manager of Ladd-Peebles Stadium. We'll talk more on perspectives in just a moment. Welcome back to Perspectives. Our guest this morning, C.J. Drinker. He is the new general manager of Ladd-Peebles Stadium, and C.J. is here giving us an update of the revitalization of Ladd, as well as some of the things that we've been accustomed to over the years are still happening and will happen again, and then a lot of new things happening as well. Let's wrap up the sports aspect again, because there's so many facets of that people may not be aware of. And we talked about the Buccaneer Academy. Give that to us in a quick little neat bow, I guess you could say, the Buccaneer Academy is.
So those guys, they graduated high school here in Mobile. You do have a couple guys that are from out of town, but for the most part, the goal of that program is to give those guys a second chance at getting that 4-year scholarship. Games have already started. You can check those games out at Ladd-Peebles Stadium, and I look forward to seeing a lot of people support those guys.
Especially, our local guys. Got to give them that shot for the next push to the next level. Okay, and then the local high schools, there are some that are back playing at Ladd again that we've been accustomed to. Tell us who they are, and we've got a slate of games for them as well.
Oh yeah. We have a lot of games coming up, a lot of key matchups. One game that I'm interested in seeing is the McGill and Murphy matchup in the future. So I'm not going to bet on that one just yet. Won't call my pick just yet. But that's one matchup I'm looking to see. And Williamson has been instrumental. Murphy's a key matchup. LaFleur's back. Figer's back. BC Rain. And congrats to BC Rain's running back. He's doing a good job this season.
Awesome. Now, there's also a team called the Port City Vikings. Who are they, and when are they playing?
So the Port City Vikings is a spring team. They're an adult team. So those guys are actually working towards getting back into the arena ranks in the lower level, D3 football team. So we have a lot of locals from that team as well. And I'm interested in seeing how their season turns out starting in February.
Okay, in February. Okay, and then, of course, we didn't leave out intentionally, because we wanted to talk about the Gulf Coast Classic coming back again. And what's the date of that one this year?
So November 12th on that game. I'm excited to see probably 80 to 100,000 people here. Deion Sanders has been selling out NFL arenas, and to have Ladd hold 40,000.
So Jackson State's coming?
Jackson State is here.
Oh my goodness.
So we have Jackson State and A&M at our stadium in November.
You're going to need to rent out some other stadiums too.
Yes.
Just for seating and watching it on the screen.
So I'm interested in seeing that game, because even now, people are calling for tailgating. I mean, it hasn't even gone on sale yet, and I know it's going to sell out in 24 hours.
That's awesome.
So when that hits and it sells out, I mean, just make sure you watch the website for that information, because I can't hold anything. So it's definitely going to go quick.
That's going to put the Ladd Stadium back on the map again for the Classic. And, of course, we have an NFL Hall of Famer who's a Jackson State grad that's in town, and I'm sure you'll be getting him involved, right?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is make sure we do some interviews with Ladd.
Okay.
And these key people, because that way they see that we're all in it together, and that's kind of one of my main things I'm pushing now is community together moving forward. So as long as we continue to do that, I don't see why we can't pack this thing out more than one or two times a year.
That's exciting. Any football we left out? I think we got all the bases covered in that one.
So yeah, everything's pretty much covered now. In the spring, we do have the APDFL that will come to town. They're going to host a classic game, which is 4 of their top teams. They'll play 2 games here in Mobile. Mobile, and that'll also give people another thing to see, another avenue, a different perspective on football. So it's a lot of football coming.
And these guys would be what, former college athletes, or what level?
Former college, former NFL, former CFL.
Okay.
So these guys are really still putting the pads on. So.
Oh, awesome. All right, we'll look forward to that. You're going to need to have a TV network here pretty soon with all the sporting events.
Hey, if you're wanting to start one, here's your chance. So if anybody out there is listening and sees opportunity, it's definitely opportunity there.
Right. So you also, in your vision, we talked a little bit about the concerts and some of the plans for that, and types of music and artists. And you also have some family things in mind. Talk about I think one of the things we were talking earlier about was the fun and excitement of being youthful again for Thrillville.
Yes, so Thrillville's come in April 6th through the 16th. So that carnival will be here for a long time. Looking forward to having them again, even the year after that. And we have fireworks shows that we're planning, Kids Day at the field. There's a ton of stuff that we're going to do to make sure the families are able to do something with the kids in the spring, especially in the spring as school starts to die down. So. And
give us a little more information on the Thrillville, because that's something when you look at the availability now of amusement parks.
Yes.
We have one that's close, and everything else is a good little drive away.
Good little drive. So what we're going to do is make sure you can experience that Six Flags type feel here in Mobile. So if you want good food, you want good rides, you want a good time, you want good family fun, April is the time to come.
That sounds good. So we've got a lot of stuff planned for the remainder of this year. Hard to believe how fast this year is going by. And then you're geared up already for several things happening in the spring. Talk a little bit more about the concert series and your expectations there, because that sounds like some great possibilities.
Yes, so again, we have the October 1 concert. He's a great promoter. Mother's Day's weekend is going to be a huge one. So I'm trying to get him to go ahead and put together a Father's Day weekend. Can't leave us out.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Father's Day weekend is going to be a good one. But I've also reached out to a couple of artists. So in October, I'll give some updates on that, because we want to make sure that we're able to do a lot during the year. So.
And you shared about the setup that you're going to have a 360-degree stage?
Oh yeah, got to, because with having them in the middle of the field and them able to work all different angles with 40,000 people, that is going to be big. That's going to be big.
Well, we look forward to getting that information. And I guess one of the most important things we've been talking about for a lot of people that brought some changes to Ladd was that security issue, and that's something that you jumped right into sharing about what your thoughts were. Give us a little idea of what has progressed to this point as far as what you will be doing now in comparison to the past.
Oh yeah, so we've implemented a no pass out policy, which has worked great. It also helps the crowds at events. Aside from that, we've just built better relationships with the officials, the police officials, private security that works the games. So now we just don't have any issues because everybody is willing to be involved in all facets of the event.
How is the parking situation with, at one time, especially when you started doing tailgating, it cuts back on some of your parking lot access. Were you able to address that, or what's the new plan for parking?
Oh yeah, so we've revitalized the parking lot. Those plans are going to start next week. So literally when it has, let's say Jackson State, for example, when that game happens, there'll be more parking availability for people, but we've also structured tailgating to where it does not consume our parking spots. So we'll use a lot of the grassy areas versus the parking spots to make sure people are able to get in. So
that's good. Are you looking at doing any of that shuttle service type deal from the mall or shopping centers? That seems to work sometimes when some of the major events are happening.
Yes, so and I got to give her credit. My mom was the one on top of me about that. So she said, I don't want to walk. So I said, well, let me hop on it and get the shuttle service back into play, because again, I don't think we're going to have 40,000 people. I think we're going to have more than 40,000 people for this Jackson State game. So having people park at local restaurants and stores down the way and able to bring them in is going to increase the experience. So it's all about creating that experience. So having 40,000 plus the shuttle service is going to make everything at ease. So.
Well, that's good to hear. Show one of your T-shirts. We've got about 30 seconds left. Show the T-shirt of the new color scheme, as well as the new look for Revitalizing Ladd-Peebles, the sports and entertainment complex.
For sure. So Beth Stafford was instrumental in making sure our logo was just lively. So
she did a great job.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So whenever we do put down new turf, I'm going to make sure we have this logo on the 20s. So that way we have permanent placing at our own stadium. But definitely, I love the logo.
It looks good.
Love the scheme, and it just screams character to me and personality. So,
CJ Drinkard, our new general manager at Ladd-Peebles Stadium, we thank you for coming and sharing today with us. And, of course, that website, once again, to go for more information.
Ladd-Peebles.com.
All right. Wish you and Ladd-Peebles Entertainment, Sports and Entertainment Complex a lot of success the rest of this year and, of course, into the new year.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being with us this morning on Perspectives. For more information on upcoming events at the Ladd-Peebles Sports and Entertainment Complex, go to their website, laddpeebles.com. And of course, we'll look forward to seeing you next time here on Perspectives. I'm Eric Reynolds. Have a great week ahead.
Thanks for watching Fox 10 News. Watch us live wherever you are on our mobile, our streaming news app, and you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.